Hi, welcome back to Hot Topics TV. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into this one. I don't really like talking about other people's children because I'm a father myself. And when people, or if anybody, forms a conversation around any of my children, it tends to tick me off. I think people's children are off limits. But in this particular case, this stuff has been in the media for quite some time. Front page news, front page magazines, front page headlines. So this is not me bringing this to the front. This is me discussing something that has already been made public. Besides, both parents are famous and rich already. Retired NBA star Dwayne Wade has filed a legal petition to officially change his transgender child's name. As reported by Face to Face Africa, according to MSN.com, Wade's daughter, Zaya, came out to the world when she was just 12. That's how it is reported. Now, Zaya, we knew Zaya to be a boy, but Zaya wants to be referred to as a girl. No more he, call me she. And Zaya's dad, which is Dwayne Wade, the basketball star, now retired, and stepmom, actress Gabrielle Union Wade, together with the rest of the family, have been right by Zaya's side. Now, according to The Blast, the former Miami Heat player filed the petition in Los Angeles County Court. Wade, in the legal document, is asking the judge to formalize his 15-year-old child's transition and also change the child's name from Zion Malachi Eramis Wade to Zaya Malachi Eramis Wade. So the only thing that would change in the name was the first name going from Zion to Zaya, right? Zion meaning that place beyond. There are plenty of people who name their sons Zion. There's a famous basketball star phenomenon who's called Zion. I believe Shelley and Fraser Price, the fastest woman in the world, or second fastest woman in the world at this point, next to Elaine Thompson Herah, had named her son Zion. So Zion is kind of like a go-to name for a male, not really a female, and he was given the name Zion Malachi Eramis Wade when he was a he. Now he wants to be referred to as she, and Dwayne Wade is supporting his child and going to the lengths of actually filing a petition to have his name changed to match who the child identifies as now, which is Zaya, Zaya, not Zion anymore. So the 40-year-old father of four filed the petition on behalf of the child because the child has not turned 18 as yet. Dwayne Wade, in the filing, also made mention of the child's mother and explained that he's not required to seek her consent when it comes to making decisions on behalf of that child. Now, that's kind of weird, right? I don't know if the mom is incapacitated. I don't know if the mom has been deemed a danger to the child or incapable or what the case may be. I don't know if the child's mother has relinquished her rights in a court of law. I think that's the only way that one parent would not be required to consult with the other parent legally, as if they had relinquished their rights as a parent in the court of law. And believe me, you can do that. You can relinquish your right, have nothing to do with that child, and then all decisions made by whoever assumes the parent role of that child legally, they won't ever have to come ask you again for consent. They don't need consent to take the child out of the country. They don't need consent to do any medical procedures. They don't need consent to, in this case, change the child's name from a male leaning kind of name to a more feminine or female name. Rumors out in the street. Let's get to the elephant in the room. So rumors out is that Dwayne Wade and his ex had a tumultuous relationship right before Gabrielle Union, and they had this child together. And this child that they had together is who they're using to hurt her, the mom. So they're gonna help this child, confuse the child, turn the child into a boy, into a girl, even though the child is a boy. And he's not going to sit there as dad and say, listen, you want to hold off on all this until you're a bit older. You might be going through a phase, blah, blah, blah. And he's rushing everything. Well, my child is, I believe that this child came out at about 14 years old, right? And instead of saying, listen, this might be a phase you're going through, I'm not going to jump up and say, hey, this is wrong. You shouldn't be doing this. If this is who you identify as, then we're here to support you. But let's not go through all the changing of the name, and before you know it, it'll be changing of the other parts to go fully over onto the other side. But he's forging ahead. Some people are saying they're using the child to remain relevant because the LGBTQ community has now become popular, and especially in the entertainment industry. And they're using this child as their front page news to remain relevant in the headlines. Then, I don't know. I'm just saying what's out there. I'll reserve my opinion for after we're finished going through this article. Pursuant of the terms of the final custody judgment, Dwayne Wade has full authority to make decisions on behalf of the petitioning minor, and he is not required to receive consent from Miss Funches Wade. As a courtesy, Miss Funches Wade has received notice of this petition. This is what the document stated according to MSN. Now, which means simply he can say or do whatever he wants as far as this child is concerned. But out of courtesy, he is letting the mom know that, hey, your son wants to change his name to one that identifies with who he identifies himself as, which is a female. So he doesn't want to be called Zion anymore like we named him at birth. He wants to be called Zaya because he is now a girl, right? The filing also explains that the motive behind the change is to conform with gender identity, which is what I just said basically. Zion is a boy, and he no longer wants to be identified as a boy, so he wants his name to identify as who he feels he is, which is a girl. Wade has been very open and supportive about his child's transition. In an interview on the Ellen DeGeneres show in 2020, he opened up about his daughter coming out, or his child coming out. Zaya came home. This is what Wade said on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Zaya came home and Zaya said, hey, I want to talk to you guys. And we all sat down and listened and all that. You know how they gather around or whatever. I think going forward, I'm ready to live my truth. I'm ready to live my truth. I want to be referred to as she and her. I would love for you guys to call me Zaya. So internally, it's our job to, one, go out and get information, to reach out to every relationship that we have. My wife, Gabrielle Union, she reached out to everyone on the cast of Pose. If y'all know Pose, Pose was pretty interesting to watch. And personally, I enjoyed it because it gave a look into a world that I do not come from or I do not understand. And to some degree, I might have been a bit biased about because that's our natural nature. We're taught that certain things are wrong, and then we fear what we do not know. Lo and behold, there's an entire community out there that exists completely different. They're artistic. A lot of the stuff that we admire through culture was formulated and taken from their community, formulated in their community, and taken from their community. It was just very interesting to watch Pose. So Gabrielle Union reached out to all the cast members of Pose, and I guess they rallied around Zaya and the idea that Zaya was making this transition, and we just tried to figure out as much information as we can to get some help for our child the best way we know how, to be the best person that this child could be, basically, is what Dwayne Wade said on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Now, there are a lot of teenagers out there who resort to self-harm and even suicide because they feel stuff like, I'm a guy that's trapped in a girl's body, or vice versa. I'm a girl that's trapped in a man's body or a boy's body, or I can't come out and be my true self because people are going to hate me, ridicule me, my family might disown me. Matter of fact, it is factual. If you watch Pose, a lot of them were, especially back in the day. Now, today, it is more accepted within society, but they have formed sub-communities within the natural structure of everyday life to be able to take care of each other. Like one person would rent an apartment and everybody else would chip in. Or one person would rent an apartment where they would house everybody else. And you would have the mother of the house, and the mother of the house would take care of everybody else that's inside the house. And they would encourage each other in that house to go out there and be successful in some kind of way so that they can be proud and say, yes, you come from the house of Evangelisa, or you come from the house of this or the house of that. And they would have specific names for each house, right? I don't know. My opinion of all this is, I think they're living their life. It's on front page. I kind of only wished it was not on front page. But then again, you're going to have people who are going to say, it's on front page, it can help some other teen. It can save some other teen from killing themselves, because they'll see Zion transition to Zaya with a supportive cast, and they will know that they too can be okay. It's okay for them to come out and tell their truth and not go harm themselves, commit suicide, or run away and hide, right? And lucky for Zaya, or Zaya, lucky for this child's not getting thrown out in the streets. This child has support and love from his parents. And I know a lot of people are going to say whatever they have to say, but it'll be interesting to watch and read these comments. All right. I've got to be more reserved in my opinion, but you're the audience. What do you think about the dynamics of the relationship between Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union? Gabrielle Union being the stepmom to this child, and the child's real mom and the child. That dynamics of a relationship right there. And don't forget, Gabrielle Union did not have her own child, as in carried the child in her womb and delivered that child, whether it was through vaginal birth or C-section. And I remember Gabrielle Union saying one time, she doesn't want a baby. Like, I don't want to ruin my figure, And I thought to myself, wow, you're a woman, you have a husband, and you don't want to have a baby to ruin your figure, but this man wants babies. So how are you going to go about it? And this was years before they actually had their child, through the methods and process which they came about having a child. So I was already off put from that. So I have my own bias when it comes to Gabrielle Union as well. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. I'll catch you on the next video. I think this is a very interesting one. It's Hot Topics TV. Y'all already know if the topic is hot, we're on it. I'm out. Peace.